Dr. Mo here, digital nomad physician at digitalnomadphysician.com. So as I'm setting up here, this is the bedroom of the one-bedroom apartment that we're renting in Madrid. We're renting this place for, okay, good. We're renting this place for about $2,100 a month, and we're going to be here for 2 months in Madrid. So far, Madrid is really good. There's different neighborhoods, right? I mean, if you go to Salamanca, which is like a little bit more posh, or actually another neighborhood we went by today near the hospital, it's maybe a little bit more like kind of the business crowd, etc. But Lavapiés and La Latina, where we are right now, it's incredible because you got these great little bars, restaurants, vegan places, and prices are very affordable. So it's definitely worth it. It's definitely worth it to stay here for a little while, but I'll say it's like any other big city. So if you're somebody who generally big cities, it's probably not worth it. As far as me, let me give you guys some updates before I get started and see if we have anybody on the call. If not, I'll either scrap the recording or I'll go ahead and post it. Tell me what you guys prefer. The goal, again, always is to do this every Friday. For me, about 5 p.m. here in Spain. I don't know, I think it's about 8 a.m. or something on Friday for you guys in Pacific time. So a little about me, Dr. Mo. I'm a board-certified family medicine physician. Yes, I'm still board-certified. I hold an American Board of Family Medicine board certification, which is under the umbrella term of American Board of Medical Specialties. I also hold a board certification to the National Physicians and Surgeons, NBPAS, and that's actually really taking off, and it's very cool to see that because I signed up with them like way back in the day in 2016, and since then they've really made big headways, and I'm really happy about that because obviously the American Board of Medical Specialties has lowered a lot of their fees, especially because of that. So it's all moving in the right direction. I've had my surgery now and sort of doing the physical rehab stuff, and it's taken a long time. Right now, this is the extent of the range of motion that I have. I can bend a little bit here, I can extend kind of here, but yeah, after they removed all the bursa here and they opened the carpal tunnel, it's definitely taken a while. It's exactly 1 week ago when I had the surgery, and I certainly have a lot of swelling still. I go just back and forth for follow-ups, it's been great being in Madrid because my surgeon is in Madrid. So being able to go back to him for follow-up has been really good. Dr. Roger de Oña, Dr. Roger. We call him Dr. Roger because he speaks English to us, which is good. For the most part, we always try to communicate in Spanish. In fact, I'm more of a stickler than Nilu, my girlfriend, but it's always nice. I mean, if you force yourself to speak the language, people always appreciate it, number one, but they also they will speak Spanish back to you, right? If it's rare that somebody like will speak English back to you. If somebody's really annoyed and they have a stressful day, like a waiter or somebody, and they're like, oh, I don't want to deal with you, goddamn, practicing Spanish. So then you learn and you go back and forth and you learn a bunch of new phrases. So couple of things have been coming up. I've been doing so what I spend my time doing right now is building up my heart health coaching practice, but I'm also really busy with other stuff. So as of right now, I'm in escrow to purchase a condo in Long Beach. This is going to be my third property that I own. I have one in Portland, I have one in Spain, and now this one. And the reason for this purchase was, Southern California, in some ways, it's a place that I never ever wanted to go back to. And I think these are always the kind of emotional statements that we make in our lives. But at the same time, I recognize that it's a great opportunity, a great place to be with my state medical license. And though I could get a state medical license in another state like Arizona, Texas, Florida, the state medical boards there are not quite as open-minded and friendly maybe as California. Even though there's a lot of opportunity in those places to work, I think it's really nice to be in California, have the connections, know the people that I know, as opposed to starting all over again. And for me, the reality of landing in Texas when I've been abroad, it's lower, right? But I have more friends and family and stuff in California, so it makes more sense for me to be there. So investing in real estate over there is good, even though property tax is high, 1.2%, 1.25% a year, give or take. So for like a $500,000 place, you're looking at, I don't know, $6,000 a year, So it's pretty bad. I mean, it's pretty high. It's pretty high. And I usually buy condos. I don't buy single family homes. So you got a lot of HOA type stuff to spend money on. And, HOAs can kind of run out of control. But it's good. I think it's a good experience for me. I'm doing mortgage for the first time. I ended up selling my investments at a big loss compared to what they were before, but still at a profit for me. And I think getting your your mentality right when it comes to that is important, because sometimes you're like, oh my God, I think at some point my investments were up at 270,000. So this is my brokerage. My private brokerage investments were 270,000, and when I sold like in the 190,000, right? So like huge loss, like $60,000 loss, or technically almost 50%. Wait, yeah, a little less than 50% loss, but at the same time, 30%. I don't know. I was still up. So I'm like, yeah, it's a good time for me to sell. I don't really like to have a lot of investments that I'm not using. So I always like to make use of my investments. And I thought this opportunity was good. I thought about buying here in Madrid. Right now, a good single family home, no, a good apartment, a flat in Madrid is going to cost me about 300,000 euros. And that's okay. That's not too bad. And I could afford it, yeah, right? With the money that I have, I could have afforded it. I could have bought it. I probably could have even bought it cash or gotten a mortgage here. But I don't think I will spend enough time in Madrid for it to make sense. A single family home in Spain, depending on where, I could probably get something really nice for about 300,000 euros, likely in northern Spain. But again, I don't know how much time that we're really going to spend here long term. Eventually, am I going to move here? Am I going to live here? I think I see my retirement here in Spain. So for what it's worth, there's a place. I always have my place in Santiago de Compostela. But investing in Southern California, the opportunity is there. The neighborhood is good. Long Beach is very mixed, as you guys know. There's some really good pockets. There's some less favorable pockets for people to settle down in. It's for the people who just basically don't have any other options. But it's also a great place to rent out in the future. It's a great place for me and my girlfriend to live. It's going to need a lot of work. Fortunately, I'm able to do all of the work. So the original wood floors, I have to sand them down and refinish them. The place is a disaster. I think this poor lady was there with like 4 or 5 kids, and so it's just a huge mess. The bathroom is demolished. I'm going to have to probably retile the bathroom tubs around, and I'm going to have to take out the vanity and the sink, put a new one in. The toilet is loose, so I'm going to have to either see if I can put new studs into the floorboards, or I'm just going to have to. Oh, that might become a mess. Yeah, we'll see. That sometimes can become a big mess, and there's probably some toilet sewage maybe that's gone under the toilet, because I know from the photos that I've seen it's a little uneven, but nothing big. Everything's kind of fixable. As for the property, I never saw it. I never saw it actually myself. By the way, trying to make sure nobody else is on the call. Okay, good. I never saw it in person. I've only seen the videos, and I initially saw the videos, and then what I did is I had somebody on Fiverr take a look at all the photos and videos of the place and draw me a cool little map. That was so good. It came out so great. I love it. I don't want to edit this video, so otherwise I would have put it. I would have attached it here. But yeah, that came out super cool, and that was a good way for me to kind of get into this habit of like being able to purchase something without being able to see it, especially with real estate. If that's in case I ever want to make real estate kind of a bigger part of my portfolio. What else am I doing? So the other time that I'm spending is really focusing on the like heart health stuff. I'm still learning a lot in the heart health space, and I don't want to just jump into it and not feel comfortable talking to my clients. But I'm also recognizing that I'm doing a little bit of analysis paralysis. So I'm like, oh, I should know this and I should know that, but I don't know this. What if I don't know that? It's like it's time for me to actually start like going after those clients one by one. I've set my hourly rate somewhere between $500 and $600. I've had a few good bites and some happy clients so far. But what my goal is to create something a little bit more steady. And then eventually what I always do is create some kind of everlasting content around it that I can sell. So videos, courses, that sort of stuff. But again, this is something I'm not, in Farsi, we say, which means like I'm not on a roll yet. Like I haven't, like, the engine hasn't started turning over yet. So it's not like the momentum isn't really there. So hopefully once that happens, then I think I'll feel a lot more comfortable expanding and creating funnels, right? Sales funnels, so that I get a steady amount of people coming in. But I'm also learning a lot about marketing. I'm certainly learning a lot about this platform, the Digital Nomad Physician platform. A lot of this is experimental. Like adding these Friday Q&As for me is a great experiment. And I'm definitely thinking about translating that over to my free Friday heart health coaching platforms. But once I do that, I have to get rid of this. So it's a little bit about, right now, Digital Nomad Physician is this much of Dr. Mo, right, of the Dr. Mo empire. And then there's like heart health coaching. And then there's maybe even a little bit of bigger portion of telemedicine, both the telemedicine that I do in my own virtual telemedicine practice. I have my own virtual telemedicine practice. But what I see happening is that this cardiac health is going to become a little bit bigger, maybe eventually push this telemedicine completely out, which I would be happy with. And then Digital Nomad Physician is essentially going to become something on the side where I might do some consulting for some people from time to time, but it's probably not going to be a big part of my work. Sorry, I have to stretch this arm, otherwise it's going to fall asleep. So yeah, that's the plan, and I think it's gonna work out really good if I keep approaching it systematically. Some of the consulting work that I do with Digital Nomad Physicians, I think I'm thinking of bumping the price up a little bit. I'm thinking of maybe selling a little bit more of my hourly rate. That's a good time that's a good amount of income from the kind of work that I do, and it's easier than like doing a whole package of $6,000 for 3 months, 6 months. The reason is, for that bigger package, I have to put in a lot more effort. And so I think doing the hourly might make more sense. I'm still having good luck on Upwork and other platforms. People are purchasing my products. I just got contact on Fiverr. There's a physician working on a really good project, but essentially the budget that he had in mind was $1,500, and I quoted him, I think, $40,000 or $70,000. I mean, worlds apart. But again, this is the value of my time, and I know how much time it will take me to create what he wanted, and this is the budget that he had in mind. That's very understandable. And in fact, it was very professional. Like when once we both revealed our numbers, it was like, oh yeah, okay, we're not even in the same freaking universe, right? So yeah, what else? When I head back to the US, so I was filling out an application for UCLA, and I think I'm still really excited about UCLA if I can become on their per diem pool. But I think the requirements for working is a little bit higher, as in they need about 16 hours a month, which is not a lot. That's 2 8-hour shifts. That's pretty straightforward. But I don't want to commit to them, and then I'm gone. I'm in Spain. I'm traveling in Mexico. I'm traveling in Europe, or I'm in Portland, and I can't do it. I don't want to do that to them. And it's a pretty extensive credentialing process. I know I'm going to get through with my past history of medical board investigations. They've already okayed that, but it's still not something that I want to maybe put them through. In the past, I've had really good luck just hitting the ground and then getting, finding an urgent care, finding an ER, finding a clinic that's just going to hire me and I can start working. So I think I'm going to go back to that, and that's going to be pretty good. So as far as finances, I'm trying to keep track. I have this little app here that I downloaded. Honestly, the simplest apps are the best ones for me, and I do so well with them. All the other ones are just too complicated. This one, I don't know what it's called, but nope, I blurred out the background so you can't see it very well. But it's super simple. I mean, literally, I just put in what I like: coffee, $5, or dinner, $30, and I can. This is important. I know this may not seem very important to you, but I will say this to the day I die. One of the most powerful things, one of the most powerful levers you can, put force on, one of the most powerful things you can do is lower your spending. If you can lower your spending to a point where you no longer feel like, oh, I really got to earn that money to be able to live this lifestyle, suddenly the world of opportunity opens up to you that you never thought before. One thing that I'm realizing is I'm averaging well over $100 a month, a day. I'm averaging well over $100 a day. So for example, if I do a report, just a quick report, I can take a look here that pretty much I started kind of like early September to keep track, and I was nearly at $3,000, and we are just halfway through October, and I'm already at $2,500. So it means I'm probably going to hit 5 or 6K by the end of October. So I'm about 5 or 6K. Now, a lot of this is spending money on courses and going out to dinner and spending money on medical visits, a lot of that stuff, right? I've had to send a document to the U.S. to get approved for this mortgage that I'm getting. I'm doing a 50% down, so I'm getting a 50% mortgage, and so 7%, by the way. I have to send a bunch of documents. That cost me like $60 just to send a couple of documents to the U.S. by FedEx. So there's this kind of expense, but if you can lower your base spending, meaning if you really had to stop everything all of a sudden, what would your base spending be? If your base spending is only like $3,000, $2,000 a month, that's easy money for you to earn. All day long, you can earn that money super easy. So that's kind of the finance situation. Again, I sold my my private brokerage stuff. I still have a ton of my other investments, and I'm very comfortable with that. I have my real estate. I can always rent that out. I'm thinking about maybe renting out the Portland one. It doesn't seem like we're going to be spending too much time in Portland, so maybe rent it out for a year or two, and then kind of once we're back in the US, if we decide to settle in near Portland, great. If not, great. And structuring my day has not been that easy because I wake up in the morning and I want to read some Spanish. I want to read some of the books that I love to read. I'm a big Kindle guy, a big audio book guy. So I spend time doing that. I'll do my physical rehabilitation stuff for my hand or occupational therapy for my hand. I'll make my coffee. I poop, the standard stuff that we all have to do. And then I'll make a little bit of breakfast, and I like to go for a walk. So I go for a walk. I'll sit down in a cafe, and I'll kind of organize my day. Then I come back. I do a little bit of work. Sometimes I'll do some telemedicine. I'll do some JA. I'll do some. I have some consulting sessions with clients. So I'll just mix it all in. A part of me always thinks I would love to have a little bit more like predictability in my day, because when I tell you guys this, it all seems a little bit kind of maybe organized, or like, oh, you got this cardiac, a heart health coach, and I got this thing on the side. No, it's all a big mess. Everything's together, and it's like, oh, which email do I check for this, and like, where do they send this, or is my Calendly linked to this? In practice, it's all a huge giant mess, but it makes sense. It's not difficult. It's not impossible to figure out. But what I would really like is for it to be more straightforward. And that's really going to mean that my digital nomad health brand and my digital nomad physician brand, they're going to either have to somehow be linked together, or one of them has to go away, and then the heart health coach really has to take center stage. And I think it's fucking scary, dude. Like I love digital nomad physicians, and I want to continue doing that. But I also recognize that there's some other good stuff on the horizon. Some of the things that I do, I spend a lot of time now talking to physicians who are dealing with medical board investigations. That's always something I've done. I've very openly talked about my entire medical board investigation from beginning to the end, very openly, despite what the California administrative court said about my website. They said that the way I made it out to be is that the medical board investigation was all everybody else's fault, and I had no fault in it. I'm very aware that I had plenty of faults in that entire process, and that's what led to a 30-day license suspension. I thought it was absurd that I had a 30-day license suspension, but I know everything that I did wrong. And some of the things that I do in this, the free coaching, so I basically book time. I have people reach out to me on WhatsApp. I talk to them. I say, what's your case? Tell me a little bit about it. Let's do some strategy planning, come up with your narrative, decide how to kind of go for the next job, how to apply, how to work with that. For example, somebody I just spoke to recently, he was having some trouble moving past this recent medical board investigation because he couldn't get a job. And there was really good reasons why he wasn't. And so we kind of made some good strategies to what to do next so he can do it. Now, he wasn't making money, so I don't charge him anything. I don't charge medical students, I don't charge residents, and I don't charge physicians who don't make money. Now, I also don't have a lot of time to give to them, so there's only a limited amount of time that I have. And there's way too many people who are really interested in that kind of service. But in my paid consulting, that's kind of what I do as well. And I think that's worth it. I think it's worth it to spend the money, because if you spend $5,000, $6,000 with me or any other physician or any other kind of attorney who does this kind of stuff, you're looking at hundreds of thousands of dollars of income into the future. So it is worth it. Spend that money on experts who are going to help you, right? Yeah, so that's a little bit about me. Nobody came on, so I'll go ahead and end it here. Just that was a good update about what I'm doing. Today, let me tell you what today is. Today's October 14, 13, something like that. And it is a Friday. It's a beautiful day here in Madrid, my girlfriend had an appointment, ophthalmology appointment, and then I walked towards her about 40 minutes north past Centro. We're in La Latina, and then we kind of got a little bit of a like we had a really good vegan restaurant food. It came out to about $30. They have plato del dia, which is like appetizer, main dish, and like postre and like bebida for about 13 bucks, 14 bucks. It was really good, great price. And then we went and had some coffee afterwards. And so now I'm back. I got a couple of consulting clients that I got to meet with today on Friday, usually. And then I'm going to do probably a little bit of telemedicine stuff or something for the rest of the day. And that's it, pretty chill. It's already like, I think 5 p.m. anyway. So that's it, guys. If you have any questions, email me, drmo@digitalnomadphysician.com. If you have any suggestions of how I should do things differently, how you want these FIDA sessions to go, please let me know. Comment below. Take care.